Make sure it's working everywhere. And it seems to be. And I'm 1 minute early. Look at that. I love it when it works that way. I hope everybody had a great week. It's been sunny here. I'm so excited about that. Of course, next couple days are going to be rainy. We have too much rain. I don't know about you guys. So while we're waiting for a couple people to join, why don't everybody take a minute and comment where you're from and what your company name is and your mission. Get this chat started. Hi, everyone. I want to thank you and I want to welcome you and thank you for joining today's special live stream training. I am thrilled to have you all here as we dive into a crucial topic that every mission-based company should prioritize: succession planning. I don't even think this is just mission-based companies that should prioritize this. I do believe it's something that most companies should prioritize. So, first off, let's talk about why succession planning is so important. If you're watching this on replay or if you're watching this live, take a minute, comment in the chat on why you think it's so important. So imagine your organization is a well-oiled machine. When a key component like a leader or a key team member is suddenly removed, it can throw everything off balance. That's where succession planning comes into play. It ensures that your organization can continue to operate smoothly, even when faced with unexpected changes. So here, I'm going to get a little bit personal, but it's relevant. Back in November of 2022, I had a heart attack. I was essentially the CFO of the company I worked at, and I was out of work for 2 months. Yeah, I was out of work until January. And that's a key leadership position to be gone. But I had built my department in such a way that I always said, if I get hit by a bus, I should not be the only one that knows this. So they knew how to get in and keep things going even without me there. And that's why it's important. Although we didn't have an actual written out plan in place, I had created a department in such a way that it could run without me, at least in the short term. And it doesn't necessarily need me, but somebody in that role. So now let's get into the nitty gritty. How do you actually go about creating a solid succession plan? 1, identify future leaders. Look for individuals within your organization who demonstrate leadership qualities and potential. Mentor them. Provide them with opportunities to grow and prepare them for leadership roles. Your staff should always be built up in a way to replace you. Number 2, development programs. Implement training and development programs tailored to equip your potential successors with the skills and knowledge they'll need to step into leadership roles. Number 3, communication is key. Keep open lines of communication with your team about succession planning. Make sure everyone is aware of the process and what is expected of them. Now, let's look at some best practices for a seamless transition. Creating a seamless transition is the ultimate goal of succession planning. Here are some best practices to achieve that. Document everything. Keep detailed records of roles, responsibilities, processes to ensure a smooth transition. You know, I went through this exercise probably a couple years into my role at my former corporate job. And I'm in this now here. It is time consuming and painful to document roles, responsibilities, and processes. But when I tell you it was a lifesaver for people to know that there is a folder to go to that has, some had screenshots, like if it's the more difficult things, there were screenshots, but there's detailed of how to do. And I'm annoying. I'm like step 1, step 2, step 3, but you don't have to be that detailed. You just have to be able to give them enough information to do the job if something was to happen. 3, involve stakeholders. Include key stakeholders in the planning process to gain valuable insights and perspectives. 3, test the waters. This is where I didn't hold up my end as well as I should have. Consider conducting mock trials to identify any potential challenges and address them proactively. I never did that, and I probably should have. My poor right-hand person would have probably had a much easier time moving into the world that she got thrown into before, if I had done that. Yeah, that probably would have been much better for her. So now let's dive into some real world examples to better illustrate the importance and impact of succession planning. And before we get into this, I also want to make a comment that succession planning should not only be for the person that runs the organization, whether you're an executive director, you're a CEO, whatever your title is, it should also be for all members of leadership. So if you go from the executive director down to the directors, these directors, there should be plans in place for them, because the key members of leadership are integral, and there should be a plan in place to be able to get through until you can replace that person, or that person can come back, or whatever the case may be. So now we're going to go on to some case studies. Apple. Steve Jobs, the visionary and co-founder of Apple, and he was the CEO of Apple, passed away in 2011. His departure left a significant leadership vacuum. But Apple had already begun grooming Tim Cook, who was at that point the COO, for years to take on a larger leadership role. Cook was well versed in the Apple's culture, their products, and their strategies. When Jobs stepped down, Cook seamlessly transitioned into the CEO role, maintaining Apple's momentum and leading the company to new heights. Apple's proactive approach to succession planning ensured smooth transition and continuity in leadership, allowing the company to thrive even after the loss of its iconic founder. General Electric. GE was once a global powerhouse, and recently they faced challenges due to poor leadership transitions and lack of succession planning. GE's failure to plan for leadership succession led to instability and a decline in performance. The company struggled with finding a suitable successor for its long-serving CEO, Jack Welch, which resulted in multiple leadership changes and strategic missteps. GE's experience serves as a cautionary tale, highlighting the importance of proactive succession planning to maintain organizational stability and continuity. GE got hurt bad with all of its turnover and everything. The stock plummeted for GE standards, and faith was rocked in that organization. So the third one is Southwest Airlines. I'm going to not do well with this name, so please forgive me. Herb Kelleher, the co-founder and longtime CEO of Southwest Airlines, was a charismatic leader who played a pivotal role in the company's success. Southwest Airlines implemented a robust succession planning process, focusing on identifying and developing internal talent, Gary Kelly, who had been with the company for over 20 years and served in various leadership roles, was groomed to succeed Keller. Southwest Airlines' successful succession planning ensured a smooth leadership transition, preserving the company's unique culture and commitment to customer service. So, we've really covered a lot of ground today, and I'm sure you have some burning questions. Like always, right? You guys blow up the chat. Yeah, that's a little tongue-in-cheek. I want to open the floor to any questions that anybody may have, even on replay. I cannot say that enough. Ask anything related to succession planning, and I'll do my best to provide you with valuable insights and answers. And I'm looking just to make sure, because I doubt there's any comments. Nope. You guys are always quiet as a church mouse when you're watching my videos. I want to thank you all for joining today's live stream training on succession planning for mission-based companies. I hope you found this session informative and valuable. Remember, succession planning is not just a task to check off your list. It's an ongoing process that requires dedication, foresight, and strategic planning. As always, if you know someone who would benefit from this information, please tag them below or share this video with them. Stay tuned for more resources and upcoming trainings from us to help you navigate the challenges and opportunities that come with leading a mission-based business. Until next time, take care and keep striving for excellence.